The girls returned to their dorm and I to mine. Actually, now that I consider it, today tired me out as well. Why is there a white scene? Oh my god. Hanako? What the frick is going on? Huh? What's this out? What the hell? Act 2, Hide and Seek. Jesus, Mary. That was not a bad animation, but what the hell was going on? My alarm blares into my ears only to be swiftly silenced by my fist. Damn you. Damn you. My body switches into auto mode, carrying my subconscious self out of bed and on into my uniform. As always, my bottles of pills sit on my desk patiently, waiting for me to take them and pick out my daily dosage of medicine. 17 pills a day. Jesus, Mary. It's like they're trying to kill us. Before I know it, I'm opening the door to class free. Glad to see that I'm not the only one who seems to be a little hungover from festival week. Every face in the classroom looks gaunt. With the festival now over, it's as if everyone's life dreams has been achieved. With nothing left to live for. What? With nothing left to live for, the students have relied on instincts alone to guide them to class. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it, probably. Especially when you say nothing left to live for. I slowly make my way to my seat, and it's only then I realize why the room is so peaceful. The seats beside mine are blissfully empty. The world's loudest interpreter for the deaf has yet to arrive. God, woman! Just as I am about to sit down, the door flies open, revealing a resplendent Misha, drills bobbing from the dramatic entrance and arms stretched towards the sky. Yahoo! It's all over! That sounded pretty freaky when I said that aloud. It would appear that not everyone is affected by the post-festival depression. The rest of the class glares at her, obviously thinking the same thing I am. Misha's still frozen in the doorway with her arms still in the air, nervously looks around. It's obvious that she senses the foul mood, but can't work out exactly what to do. Sit on my lap. Suddenly she jerks forward. Hey! As she stumbles into the classroom, she reveals Shizune's arm still extended from where she shoved Misha. ... Thanks for the entertainment, but shouldn't you two take your seats? ... Does she hate me? Still slightly embarrassed, Misha takes a few seconds to realize she has to translate. Oh yeah, Shi-chan says she's not happy with you ditching us last week. I don't remember you inviting us anywhere. We were really busy. Is that so? What about the stuff I already did for you two? Oh, good lord. She says that only counts for the council members. Since you declined, she doesn't owe you anything. I beg your pardon. Woman, get out of my face. I'm going to shoot her. Misha leans closer and whispers conspiratorially in my ear. Actually, I think she's just a little sore that you didn't spend the day with her. Ah. Godlike. She's really thankful for your work last week, though. Sensing that she is being talked about, Shizune slightly wraps her fingers on her desk until Misha turns around to face her. What do I blush? I can't understand any of the fast-paced signing that's going on, but from Shizune's slightly embarrassed expression and Misha's poorly contained laughter, I can guess. While this exchange is happening, the doors open once again, but this time at a much more reasonable place. Hanako quietly enters the room and pulls the door closed behind her, peering out from under her hair as she quickly scans the classroom. Our eyes meet and she suddenly stiffens. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then walks over to my desk. Okay. Good morning, Hisao. Morning, Hanako. You're a little late, aren't you? I was talking to Lily. About today. Ah, so you've got her list then? We can leave straight after classes in that case. Sure. I'm looking forward to it. Hanako briefly flashes her embarrassed smile at me, then hurries off to her seat. What? Why is she being like this? During classes it becomes apparent that it's not only the students that are a little disappointed after the festival. Muto simply gives us a list of exercises from the textbook and then sits behind his desk and falls asleep. I totally forget about the brief lunch period for a moment. Such is the banality of the day. My God, it's mind-numbing, and everyone seems surprised when the bell signals "shut up" signals the end of the lessons. As I'm packing up my bags, Shizune and Misha flank and entrap me. Say, Hichan, it's not too late to join up. Oh dear God. There's a lot of post-festival paperwork for us to complete. There's only 2 councils I will join. One I'm a bit iffy on, but the second one I will take in my stride. Sorry Misha, I've got plans. As if sensing the cue, Hanako appears behind me, holding a small bag and trying to avoid eye contact. I'm assuming it was avoiding eye contact. Nisha's eyes open wide, then she bursts into laughter. Wah, you move fast, don't you, Ichan? Beg your pardon. We won't disturb your date any further. Wah! What? Why can't a boy and a girl be friends? I sounded strange when I said that aloud, but still, I hear that a lot. Behind the roaring, Misha, I see Shizune taking far too little interest in the scene. I might be taking this the wrong way, but I think she's deliberately ignoring me. Wait, who? Shizune or Misha? I'm not reading back. Did she just get closer? I feel a gentle tug on my shirt and turn to see Hanako's eyes fixed firmly on the floor. Let's... Gotcha. Shizune, Misha, I'll see you later. And I'm still not interested in the council. Spoil sport. Damn you. Misha and Shizune retreat into the hallway, happily signing to each other. Got all your stuff? Let's head off. Really, the gate can't be just phased to the store? Floods of students pour out of the school gate and onto the road into town. It's a little weird, it's almost a scene from any other high school, but the illusion fades because of the occasional wheelchair or missing limb. One thing I do notice is that nobody is alone. And as Hanako and I pass through the gate, I notice that she closest the distance between us. Not enough to be considered close, but she certainly isn't at her usual just a little far position. Ah, right, okay, we're becoming more friendly. I guess we're not familiar enough for her to get close as she does with Lily. However, even though she has moved a little closer to me physically, mentally... What? However, even though she has moved a little closer to me physically, mentally she seems to have travelled a mile. Her hands clutched around the leather straps of her bag to the point of whitening her knuckles, her head down and her mouth pursed open. Closed. I read that wrong, probably. She almost looks like she's being walked to the principal's office for the first time. I tried to stifle a giggle at the thought, but it's futile. What's the matter? I guess there's no point in hiding it. Sorry, for a second there it looked like you were getting into trouble. What do you mean? I think you need to relax a little. We're not going too far, and it's only students around, right? Right. It bothers me a little to see Hanako so worked up. And you do this every week, don't you? Yes, with Lily. That's the difference. Of course, with Lily. I wonder, has she ever left school without her? It doesn't seem like at first glance, but Hanako's dependence on Lily is absurdly heavy. If she can't even handle leaving the school without her, how would she manage to survive if the two had never met? Would she have found someone else to latch on to? And what drew her to Lily? I was just thinking that. Was it her lack of eyesight, or was Lily just kind enough to lend a hand? I wonder if anyone would have fit the bill. Well, I'm here. Besides, we're not going far. It'll be over before you know it. Hanako's knuckles slowly regain their colour as she tries to hide a small smile, but the effort of that seems to prevent further conversation. We travel side by side down the winding road towards the town. I nearly said school then. The crowd of students thins as we continue along the sidewalk. Faster students rush ahead, and the less mobile ones fall behind, frying the crowd into nothingness. Soon the emptiness will shatter your heart. Here in this world of nothingness. Just leave me alone. I just gotta make that reference. By the time we reach the convenience store, we are practically alone. Using me as a shield between herself and the attendant, Hanako moves through the narrow aisles. Is that how you say aisles? I don't know. Aiding an assortment of items to a basket. Bread, milk, tea. Fine? What the fuck is fine? What kind of convenience store sells herbs? Dear God. Then again, nothing about this town seems normal, which may not be such a bad thing in retrospect. Everything is so different and uncomfortable. Dwelling on such matters isn't really an option. When I think about that, it reminds me of Hanako. No matter how much you try, you can't escape her scars. They still interpret my train of thought when I see them. As much as I don't want to admit it to myself, I think I'm focusing myself to try to ignore them. Forcing myself. Not that I'm scars-free myself. The jagged line down my sternum will never completely fade away. I just have the luxury of being able to hide it easily. But in a way, both of our scars remind me that we're all in the same place for a reason. ... Hanako throws one last item into a basket, then sheepishly holds it out to me, along with a few banknotes. Could you please? It takes me a second to understand what she's trying to say. You idiot. Oh, you want me to pay for this? She nods but doesn't look up. I guess this task falls to Lily on the usual occasion. Sure. Let me just grab a couple of things. Hastily I grab a few essential items for myself and head for the counter with Hanako in close tow. The attendant gives me an indifferent nod as he scans the items. I suppose just ignoring us is one way to deal with the miles of Yamaku. They must get a lot of students here, being the closest store to the school. The staff must all have their own way of dealing with us, or maybe they don't. Maybe it's only me who thinks twice about my unique schoolmates. I get a feeling I clicked twice. No, I did not. Our transaction complete, Hanako and I head back onto the street. The road is pretty much abandoned now. The students that were heading out have already left, and nobody has started returning just yet. And with only the school ahead on the road, there doesn't seem to be anyone else around. The emptiness certainly reflects on Hanako, her arms by her sides, each carrying a bag, her head no longer bowed and back to the upright position. Fucking shit! It's almost as if she were enjoying this walk. So, why all these weird things? Mixed spices? Why would you need that in school? My god, this is loud. I sometimes like to make food. Well, yeah, so do I, but spices? That's a little more advanced, don't you think? Not really. Damn you. Well, I think it's cool. You'll have to teach me one day. Sure. She doesn't seem all that sure, but pushing the point doesn't seem all that wise. At the very least, she seems a great deal happier than she did on the walk down here. That alone makes me a little happier. Outside the girls' dorm, Hanako and I sort out the grocery bags with our respective purchases. In comparison, my things look positively plain. I tell you, you're putting me to shame here. No, I'm not. I'm only joking. I have a stack of homework that I skipped last week, so I must leave now. Will you be alright getting to your room? Yeah. Sure. Okay then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. We part ways and I return to my room. Thank God, just a room. Piles of papers sit upon the desk, begging to be completed. With the entire ruckus of the last week, I barely had any time to catch up. Squeak and I killed you. I tried to keep up with my studies while I was in hospital, but some of this stuff I've never seen before, even back in my old school. I've never seen before. Totally unprepared, I pop the top on a can of drink and get to work. Phase! Oh god, I thought it froze. Dear God. Don't shake. The days are really starting to heat up. This morning I woke covered in sweat. By the time the student body starts leaving their dorms for breakfast and morning duties, the sun has taken full effect. Oddly, that puts me in high spirits. It's not 8 yet, I feel that this day is going to be one of those pleasant, tranquil, warm ones. If I weren't at a school that considered every absence from class as a sign of life-threatening situations, I'd consider skipping the whole day and just relaxing in the school gardens. Yes, today will be a generally lazy day. For a second I stopped in mid-stretch and considered the nurse's warnings about exercise. Maybe I should have kept up those morning jogs. Running with someone like Henry might have been a little testing, but if I worked at my own pace, I couldn't stick to something like that without some kind of motivation. Exactly! You understand me? It's not like I sit around all day. That's where you and I differ. On occasion. Yes. The walk to and from the convenience store counts as exercise, right? Especially the walk back uphill. If only so.